Axis versus the Allies in World War II. Why did we call them this? Well, the history of them calling themselves the Axis comes from Mussolini. While it was used by other people before that, it really comes into vogue because of Mussolini, who says that with this new Berlin-Rome alliance that they were forming, they would then have a new axis in history in Europe, right? So they would be like the center point of everything going on in Europe. Now, later, the Tripartite Pact would happen with the Japanese, bringing the three of them together to be the Axis. Now, they also had some minor allies like Hungary, but they weren't really nearly as big of a thing. The Allies also started using the term Axis, especially FDR really liked using the term Axis. As for the Allies, Allies was one of the main terms. However, another main term was the United Nations. United Nations forces. This was a common term at the time in World War II, and is the basis for the United Nations that we all know and ignore constantly. No, but seriously, the United Nations comes from both the United Nations, the forces that defeated the Germans, as well as the predecessor, the League of Nations, which had essentially no power, even less power than our current United Nations. And we can still see that history alive today in the current United Nations because the Security Council is made up of the allies from World War II, namely the United States, Britain, France, the Russians, then the Soviet Union, and the Chinese, which at the time were the Republican Chinese forces and then eventually got turned over to the Communist Chinese. Right? We can see the Taiwanese flag, the Republican Free Forces of China right there. So we currently still live in the United Nations, the allies of the victors of World War II, that world we're still living in today.